Hello, hello, friends. It is Thursday night, and that means that it is wellness hour. I am Skyla Mann, and I am your host tonight. So thanks for joining me. And if you happen to be watching the replay tonight, thank you for tuning in there as well. So our Thursday night wellness hours are meant both for all of you that are existing Young Living members and any friends or curious family that want to join in. They are always welcomed as well on Thursday nights. And our goal is singularly focused. Our goal for Wellness Hour is to empower you with information that will help you become healthier, but also to give you confidence in using all of your Young Living products. So we hope that in some way, the information, it is varied every week. We hope that it will give you, the gumption to try a new product or to, in tonight's case, establish a new routine, and that somehow that will bless you on your wellness journey. So let's dive in to what we are going to be talking about tonight, which is healthy routines and figuring out how we can live better. And I might add, um, with less stress and less guilt, um, with establishing some healthy routines. That is our goal. So I want to start by sharing a quick story with you of how drinking Ningxia Red every single morning for literally years, and I'm talking probably upwards of 17 now. I don't know if we were regulars on Ningxia Red. I honestly can't remember that very first year. But once we started, you guys, we have never deviated. And the Ningxia is always in our refrigerator, either in a bottle or, some Midwesterners have a cheese drawer. We do have that, but we also have a Ningxia drawer. And when we get a new box of Ningxia packets, we just dump it in that drawer with some nitros, and it's always there on tap for us whenever we want it. And what I can tell you is that over time, I have realized that we are no longer the average American family, in that we simply do not get sick very often. And when we do, we are able to handle that with the things that we have in our arsenal at home. And I have not been to the doctor for an illness. I'm not sure how long. The only thing I have been to the doctor for was poison ivy. And I shared earlier this week, I think on Table Talk, that the new Deep Spectra frankincense, I don't anybody have that at home? Frank 2. I do not know how HK Lin formulated that. I mean, I do, I guess. It's a double distillation process. But you guys, that stuff is so powerful. And it kept me out of the doctor this time when I got into it on my legs. So that's great news. But this one habit, though, going back to the Ningxia Red, I truly think on a day-to-day basis, yes, I have great energy. Yes, I sleep well. I'm experiencing all of those little things, but the cumulative effect is that I don't feel my age. And I feel like I have ample energy to run around with my grandkids and to keep up with this new list of chores that we have on the farm, which yesterday included cleaning out the gutters on the machine shed. And I just like it becomes normal. And so I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes even when great things become normal, we sort of diminish them in our mind. It doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal anymore. And I guess what I want you to recognize is that the health benefits that you are experiencing from Young Living, they are a big deal. And when you couple those, hopefully, with your other habits of meditation or devotions or exercise or you fill in the blank, you truly are making a huge difference in your life. So I hope that tonight will inspire you to take what you have that is working for great habits and elevate that just a little bit. So, tonight is all about discovering how these simple, consistent routines with Young Living products and your existing healthy lifestyle are going to make your life easier. They're going to make your choices feel lighter, and hopefully, overall, it makes your life feel more joy filled. That is my goal for you. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about why routines matter. Now, I will be the first to admit that I like variety. I like it when my days are different. Um, I think that if I had the same monotony every single day of what I had to do, I think it would kind of drive me crazy. But even though I have variety in my day, there are anchors that are in there that are non negotiable. Okay. So, has anybody ever heard of John Maxwell? He is a famous author, a famous speaker. He has written tons of books. Young Living has had him come to be a guest speaker at convention, and I just adore him. I call him everybody's grandpa because when he speaks, he just sort of radiates this wisdom. And John Maxwell says, "You'll never change your life until you change something that you do daily." Now, I want you to ponder that for just a moment, okay? The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So, tonight, in addition to me sharing some great information with you, I'm also going to ask you guys to engage in some thought provoking work here. And this is kind of our foundation. So, routines are what create freedom. They reduce decision fatigue, they create stability, and they build momentum. I have a couple of friends that I have met through Young Living who made a decision many, many years ago to not eat sugar. Now, I am borrowing their testimony because while I do watch the quantity of sugar I eat, I have not made that hardcore decision just yet. But I want to share something that both of these individuals told me. They said it was so hard before they made the decision when they were in this arena of, I'm trying not to eat sugar. But once they made the black and white, clear line decision, they said suddenly it became easy because it was a non negotiable. And that decision fatigue that they wrestled with of should I have this or should I do this, all of that was gone because they had made a decision one time and then it was over. And I feel like there is so much wisdom in that. And I'm not telling you tonight, that that's the decision that you need to make. But what I want to impress upon you is that we can reduce decision fatigue by creating a routine that actually blesses our lives and our health. And if you make the decision once, you don't ever have to make it again, and it just becomes part of your rhythm. So, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of hers. She is my mentor in the life coaching arena. She says that good habits free up energy and brain space, allowing us to pour into our true purpose. Without routines, life feels reactive, but with routines, we can live proactively. Now, let me ask you this. Which feels more positive and empowering, being proactive or living reactively and just kind of waiting like, oh, how am I going to react to that? You can let me know in the comments. A one is proactive, a two is reactive. That's pretty simple there. Yeah, proactive for sure. So here's where I want you to become a little bit self-reflective. I want you to think about what is one routine that you have already established in your daily life without fail, and it's serving you well. Okay? Don't give me your bad routines. But what's a routine that is like a proactive blessing on your health journey? What is something that you do? Oh, yeah. Kathy says she drinks 6 ounces of Ningxia Red daily. Kathy, do you do that in one serving or do you like to sprinkle it throughout the day?
I usually do it in one setting. It
Okay,
helps me. I feel like it helps me sleep. I do it at night before I go to bed.
very good. You're just like our oldest daughter. That's what she has always said. I sleep like a rock if I have my Ningxia. Awesome. Clemmy walks every day. That is fantastic, Clemmy. I love it. Lisa drinks Ningxia, Nitro, and she has now added the daily hormone essentials every day. Awesome. I bet that there are a ton of things that many of you do that are a routine that have become so routine you might not even think about them. Is that possible? Like drinking water, going for walks, um, even taking naps, I think can be part of a wellness routine. This is great. All right, we've got Dee Tonelli, who walks at least 10,000 steps each day. Great job. Yvonne drinks her Ningxia 3 times a day, walks her 10,000 steps. Inner boost and balance. Um, I love it. Feeding the dogs. Yes, feed them or get eaten, right? Awesome. Gary's Great Day Protocol. Yes, Sheila. We're going to talk about that tonight. So, here's one of the things that I want you to think about. For each of those already established routines that you've got going, imagine if using oils or adding a beneficial supplement to that routine became automatic. So just as automatic, do we have any coffee drinkers in the house tonight? Okay, so I'll bet you for diehard coffee fans, you're not going to forget to do that in the morning. Am I right? You wake up and that's part of your routine. Imagine if paired with your coffee that you established an oiling routine while it was percolating, you applied Gary's Great Day Protocol or something like that. It's amazing what can happen when we link those together. So, we're going to talk about core wellness habits with Young Living. So, starting out first thing in the morning with our morning energy booster and setting our mindset for the day. Many of you, like myself, are huge fans of Ningxia Red. I also love the Master Formula. That is a non-negotiable for me, and it has been for many, many years. Multi-greens is another powerful supplement that we can take that can really get the energy flowing in the morning. So imagine pairing whatever your morning supplements are, okay? And you guys can drop in the comments what your morning cluster of supplements and Ningxia look like. But I want you to think about how powerful would it be if you paired those together with morning journaling. or morning scripture or morning affirmations. And that just became a linked thing that was kind of a non-negotiable for you. Okay, so we talk about anchoring habits, or sometimes we call it stacking habits, but I want you to think about the dropping an anchor in different parts of your day, that when that happens, you just automatically think, oh, this is where I pair my inner defense or my super bee. I always do that, when I journal or when I go through my planner, that kind of thing. Okay. And you can come up with clever little sayings like, when I pour Ningxia, I pour into my mindset. And that can help you hook those things together. Now, Sheila already mentioned Gary's Great Day Protocol, but I also want to put in a mighty plug for that, because you guys, I don't think, aside from Ningxia Red, I don't know if there's a better way to start your day with intention and those four oils. So, Gary's Great Day Protocol for me happens right at my bathroom sink. I have all of those oils set out, and it is Valor on the wrists. Okay. That gives us balance and courage. It is Harmony on the solar plexus. So, right at the bottom of your rib cage. Harmony is good to bring us inner peace and balance. Joy on the heart is a mood booster. It gives us, it gives us joy. All right. That just helps us move through the day. And then one of my favorites, White Angelica. And I put a couple of drops of that in my hand, and I just kind of rub it all over myself from head to toe. And that provides protection and positivity. So this routine truly sets the tone for the day, especially emotionally, and it can be stacked right after you finish brushing your teeth or doing your morning skincare. So, does anybody besides Sheila, I know she mentioned that, does anybody else subscribe to that Gary's Great Day Protocol? Fantastic. I see Lisa raising her hand. It is very, very powerful. And I highly recommend just setting out those oils so that you can see them, because that's a good reminder. Okay. Next in our day, let's talk about movement and exercise and how we can establish positive routines with that. So, when you are exercising, one of the products that we can use for recovery and hydration is AminoWise. And this is a delicious powder that you add to your water bottle and you drink it, and it helps to rehydrate the body. It also helps muscle recovery, and it truly can make a difference if you're working up or you're just getting into an exercise routine and you've got a little fatigue and a little soreness going on. AminoWise is fantastic. In terms of pain relief, if you have fatigued your muscles, don't forget about Deep Relief and PanAway, all of our Cool Azul products, the pain cream and the roll-on oil. Those are powerful. And of course, Aromaseas is really soothing and re-energizing for the muscles. So, how do we anchor this into an exercise routine? I think when you are preparing to either go out and walk or jog, or if you're staying in your home and you're going, to ride a bike or lift weights, when you are lacing up your shoes, I think that's an excellent thing to anchor your oils too. So maybe you keep the Deep Relief or the PanAway by your shoes, rub it on your calves or rub it on your lower back, and just start pairing those together. If you are blessed enough to have an exercise room in your home, maybe you hang up an oil shelf like Lisa's got behind her and you put it right in the workout room. And that way you've got those oils handy and you can apply them right when you need them. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about hydration and nutrition. So, Mineral Essence. Do we have any fans in the house? This is it's the supplement that we just love, and a lot of people love to complain about the taste. But I think Mineral Essence is so stinking powerful in terms of the trace minerals that it gives us. It comes in a liquid tincture, so you squeeze the little thing and you drop it in. Here's a tip on Mineral Essence. For years, I kept it in the refrigerator, and that little eyedropper just got thick and very difficult to squeeze out. I have since learned from several people you don't need to refrigerate it. It can be kept in the cupboard and it makes it way easier to get it out of the bottle. So I always give mine a little shake and then I either add it to water or add it to Ningxia. I absolutely have put it on my tongue before, and I am tough enough, I guess, that that doesn't bother me now. Um, but take it however you need to take it. If you need to put it in capsules, go for it because it is so good for us. I don't want anybody to miss that. So, Mineral Essence and then also the Vitality Electrolyte drops. Those are delicious and you can add those to your water bottle, um, along with the vitality oils, lemon, orange, peppermint. This week, I have been reading a lot about the benefits of that frankincense too, putting that in your water with some orange oil and just know that every time those cells in your body are, wreaking havoc, they're misprogrammed. Um, Frankincense too and orange oil is what we can drink daily to combat that. Okay. It reprograms and rewrites your cell communication. So, how can you anchor that kind of nutrition into your hydration habit? Here's what I do. I keep whatever I want to add to my water right beside our Berkey water filter. And then it becomes a no-brainer. When I'm refilling my water bottle, all the goodies to add to it are right there. And I just put them in. Okay. So think about where is your hydration refill station in your home and try to keep those things close. We're trying to make it easy so that new habits and routines are sort of the default because we're being proactive, right? Good job. Diana says she adds mineral essence to the last little bit of Ningxia greens and she holds her breath. Proud of you, Diana. Do whatever you got to do because it's worth it. Your body needs those minerals. Okay, next up, we've got the category of grounding and stress support. So I hope that everybody here takes a few minutes each day to incorporate prayer, meditation, or grounding outside, barefoot, preferably. Okay. Some oils, you know that there are a ton here. Okay. So you fill in the blank on what oils resonate the most with your body. But frankincense, stress away, valor, those are certainly three of my favorites. I do love the oil blend called grounding. I'm a big believer in that one. Um, but I want you to practice the act of pairing whatever you do. So, prayer, meditation, grounding outside, start to habit stack that with your favorite coordinating oil. So, what can elevate that experience? And again, try to keep those oils near your journal or near your Bible or near the back door if you're going to go stand out in the yard or you've got a grounding chair, whatever the case may be. Um, it is great if you can anchor um, your appointed time to start work. If you work at a computer, before you sit down and open up your laptop or before you power up your computer, take 30 seconds and grab an oil next to your computer and apply it and just get yourself energetically and spiritually in the right frame of mind and in the right way to do that work. Okay. It's all about positioning that. Now, how can we develop healthy routines and habits around your home and environment? Well, the easiest thing that I have done over the years, and this is one of those habits that I don't even think about anymore, but I have a bottle of Thieves household cleaner under every sink. So it's easy. If the counter needs to be cleared off, or if the toilet needs to be spritzed, or the shower needs to be cleaned, it's always going to be handy. So bathroom sinks, kitchen sinks, laundry room sinks, whatever the case may be, your job is to make it easy. I love glass bottles, but also, in our garage or in the laundry room, I like quantity. So I've gone to Lowe's or Home Depot and gotten a few of those big kind of industrial sprayer bottles and filled those with the household cleaner. It seems like the spray is bigger and better, and those spray bottles seem to hold up for a long time. No one is ingesting those, so if I add oils to them, it is totally fine. Glass bottles are fantastic, and I've almost always had those in the kitchen. But when we start tossing them around in the garage and cleaning cars and that sort of thing, practicality says plastic bottles are probably okay for that. Um, and if you've got a barn, I know Yvonne does, and she uses a lot of Thieves products out there. Keep those handy. Okay. The handier things are, the more we will default to using them, right? So this is our mental check of how we can go through things. Another thing to bless our home and environment and stack these habits is daily diffusing. Okay. So how many of you do you have a diffusing rhythm? Like, is that part of your morning routine where you get yourself ready and then you go out into the kitchen? Do you immediately start a diffuser? Or are you like me and you have several in your house and it's kind of, as you go through the day, depends on where you're working. Just know that when you add oils to those diffusers, you're literally setting the tone for your home. And as you walk through the house the rest of the day or at work, I kid you not, it's kind of like this little gift that you gave yourself early in the day, and you walk back into that room and you're like, "Oh, good job, 7 a.m. me for filling that diffuser. Now 10 a.m. me, thanks you for that gift, right?" So, one of the things that I do, I've got a diffuser back here and it actually just shut off during the class, which is a bummer. But I always keep water, if possible, near the diffuser. If it's not like near a sink. So I'm up here in the attic and I've got to go down a flight of stairs to get to my sink, and I don't always want to do that. So I keep an empty Ningxia bottle of water up here, and that just makes that rhythm so much more simple. When I want to fill it, the water's right there. So a lot of people will keep some sort of a water vessel in their bedroom if it's a few steps away from a bathroom sink or something. So, oh, good work. Diana uses her empty dish soap and household cleaner bottles. Awesome. And Dina uses the red bottles for water too. Good job, you guys. Um, So, what can we anchor all of these home things to? I would say that when you're doing any kind of a household tidy or cleanup, um, it's a good idea, if you're picking up the trash off of the counter or clearing them off, You reach under the sink, you've got your thieves spray, and that just becomes like one task, right? So just think about how you can make that simple. The last thing for the day here is the evening reset. So, what to anchor to, what do you always do before you go to bed? Okay, that might be different for each of you. Without fail, I always brush my teeth. That's one of the things that never gets missed. I actually love brushing my teeth. I'm one of those weirdos. Um, but there are things that you can pair with that that will make your evening easier. So, what are your nighttime supplements? I take Life 9. I take Immu Pro. Um, I also take Super Magnesium. Those are my three standards. Some of you might do Sleep Essence. Maybe you do Omega Gies before bed. But what I would recommend is you cluster those bedtime supplements with brushing your teeth or putting on your pajamas or whatever your evening ritual is. And then where do you keep the oils that you put on before bed or that you diffuse before bed? So I literally have the easy to reach bedtime supplements and oils in one place on my bathroom counter, and it's usually lavender and cedarwood for oils. I like to put cedarwood on my brainstem, and I put lavender on my wrist and on my chest. And you guys, it just knocks me out like that. And then I keep those supplements with it. And it's so simple because I'm not running around the house looking for where's that oil or where's that supplement. Just try to make it easy for yourself. So when you brush your teeth, you take your supplements, you put on your oils, you go to bed. Piece of cake. Um, so just a little bit about if you want to read more on this concept of habit stacking, James Clear in the Atomic Habits book has written a lot on that. Some of you have probably read that before, but it's just all about connecting a new habit to one that you already do so that you're creating your own easy button and reducing decision fatigue. Um, John Maxwell reminds us that consistency compounds. And the compound effect is what we're all going for because small daily choices equal long-term transformation. So I want to give you a little challenge to choose, think about one morning routine and one evening routine or habit. And I want you to think about what result you would like to get. So is there something that you want to upgrade to in the morning or in the evening? And you get like you're the boss of your life, right? So how do you want to feel at 10 a.m. every day? And what could you do at 7 or 8 a.m. to feel that way? So I'm giving you the permission slip to craft your ideal morning habit and evening habit. And I want to challenge you to orchestrate 7 consecutive days where you add in that morning habit and add in the new evening habit and see how you feel. I want your future self next Thursday night to say, "Wow, thank you. That is exactly what I needed." And I'm going to see if I can drop, oh gosh, I don't know if I can here. Oh, let's see. I put something, here we go. Okay, I'm putting this in the chat one more time for those that might have jumped on a little bit later. So if you can open this, it's just an example of a PDF. And you might think, okay, Skyla, I'm way beyond this. I don't need that. But sometimes people need to see how in the heck do we anchor these new habits together? So if you are in the process of establishing a morning supplement routine, first of all, figure out what does your body need? What are you aiming to accomplish? And then we're going to sort it out. What do you want to take in the morning? What do you need to take at night? But I really want you to focus on what are you going to anchor that to? How are you going to remind yourself? So literally this is just the most basic checklist. Um, you obviously fill in the blank, okay, because you know what your body needs. But just a reminder that when, when you brush your teeth before bed, you're going to anchor whatever supplements you need to that and then check it off, okay? So we're trying to make this simple because we want you to feel freedom in your own personal wellness. We don't want it to feel like a burden or like drudgery. It should bring you joy because feeling good feels good. And that's what I want for each of you. So don't forget to use your oils tonight before you go to bed. And I can't wait to hear some of your testimonials next Thursday when we get together about how you are transforming your own wellness.